YouTube family, thanks for stopping by the channel. Whether you're here for the in-depth cryptocurrency analysis or the mediocre gaming clips, I appreciate your support. Per usual, the views in my videos are not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. And as always, keep the hate in your heart and not in my comments. Enjoy the content. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel, coming to check me out again. I first things first want to say that if you guys could like, share, subscribe, help me get these videos out, help me get those views up. I went from like 64,000 views to like 25,000 to like 15,000 to like 1,000 to like maybe a couple hundred. I don't even think my last video hit over 100. I haven't checked today, but it really does help me. I don't make a lot of video off of these, even though I am a YouTube partner. Truthfully, if I get like a couple thousand views, I may make $1, maybe like $1, and I gotta pay taxes on that. So I don't even get a full $1. And so even if I was producing 2 or 3 videos a week, getting a couple thousand views, which is pretty good. A couple thousand views is I think it's pretty cool. Because I mean, if you think about knowing 1,000 people, right? And your video is reaching 1,000 people, that's pretty dope. But I may make a whole like $5 for the month if I had 2 videos a week hitting a couple thousand views, and then I have to pay taxes, so I may make like a whole like $450. So it's not really a whole lot. I don't do this for the money. I do this to help educate you guys. I'm really also doing this for myself because I need to get myself back in the game and really inspire that confidence in myself that I had before. You know, I'm so sure of the crypto market, and I know this is my calling, and it's something I'm so passionate about and I love. But really losing that money and stuff, it really hurt me mentally, you know. And so I seeing those views go up, seeing the audience that I'm reaching get bigger, and it gives me that motivation to kind of keep pushing forward and to keep doing this. Which I mean would be for anything that you do in life, right? You want to see your work bringing you some sort of satisfaction or joy out of it, right? So I do this for you guys to help educate everyone. We're going to take a dive into the charts today. Okay, very, very quickly. I promise this is going to be a very quick video, and you can check by the timestamp. I promise it will be. I am going to cover the support and resistance lines that I drew out last time. I'm going to cover the ranges that I talked about. If we lose, Bitcoin will fall to horrible levels, which in turn will take the whole market down with it, because Bitcoin leads the market, right? So we're going to be looking at Bitcoin USDT futures contracts on Binance. The price action there, typically because of all the volume they do, the amount of money that's transacted on there, which is billions, right? That will typically lead the price action of Bitcoin before Bitcoin hits that price action. You can usually follow people's money, right? You're always supposed to follow the money. You see where these leverage traders are putting their money, which are typically smarter than the average trader because most times, not always, because it's a gamble when you're leverage trading, right? So a lot of times you can tell by the volume trends and everything where the price will go. So we're going to dive into the chart right now. We are going to look at the weekly candles on Bitcoin again. Okay, here is the support and resistance lines that I drew out last time, right? If we zoom in on these, you guys can see it here. Okay, current price is $40,042. It's been pumping up and down. We did see some pretty good price action today, actually. That's why I wanted to make this video. So if we look at this, the support and resistance lines, right? Today's candle, right, or the 25th of April, the bottom of this candle, look exactly where it touched, right? It came down and touched this exact support and resistance line that I had drawn out. It wicked down to it, and it seems to be bouncing off of it. So if we can start closing in the range that we are right now, above 40,000, we close above 40,000, that's going to be amazing for price action. We will continue to go up. Now let's look up some other factors here, okay? If we look at the MACD down here, I will pull this up. The MACD is still red. Oh, I don't even know what I just did there. Oh, I changed the coin. The MACD is still red that we were just looking at, right? Here we go. Looks like we potentially have a crossover happening here okay? But the MACD is still red. And it's a solid red. It's not a light red like over here. It's a solid red. However, look at the volume. The volume is nothing compared to even the last buy wave that we had, which was not a whole lot. But this could be one of those situations like this over here, right? Where we have these building sell candles. So we have to wait and see. This is a very crucial time, which is why I'm making another video for you guys. Here's the stochastic on the weekly. Nothing's really changed since the last video, right? On these weekly charts. Go back to the candles here. It's looking pretty good though. We are starting to see that we are getting a wick here in a positive way. We bounced off the support. It could be very, very good for us. So let's take a deep dive into the daily candle. And let's pull these up here. We'll expand this for you guys. And let's see. Wow, look at this daily candle, right? It came right to the support and resistance level that I was talking about, that I drew for you guys on live, on the video, like live. I drew it while you guys were watching. At $37,657, it bounced right off of that, right? Came out of the Bollinger Bands and pulled back in. That's exactly what I talked about happened last time. What would happen with Bollingers, right? It comes out, it has to go back in. Now, if we look over here at this other price action that we had from the 10th and 11th of April, all the way to the 20th of April, so it took 10 days for this to play out, we were bouncing off this support and resistance, really trying to hold it as best we could, but we failed to, okay? We came up, we tried to have a breakout, but we did not. So, what are we looking for here? Okay, we had a green candle pull up and try to hold this as support, the line that I drew. It did not. Well, it did that. It closed above it, right? And then the very next day we got shot down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We went down to the next support level here. Now what's happening is we broke above the previous support level, which would have then acted as resistance to us, right? So we broke above our last support level, which became resistance. We are above resistance. If we close above resistance, that will be a great sign. That means we will most likely, at a minimum, go up and test these moving averages or the top of the Bollinger Band here, which would put us around 42,000 to 43,000-ish. If we see a wick up there, maybe. Right? And if we go and we look at these other candles over here, we look at support and resistance, candle body closes and such, we should be looking for resistance around 42,000 and then right around the high 42,000 as well. So low 42,000s to high 42,000s is going to be a major area that we're going to have to break through with force and high volume. Now, if we go and we look at the MACD on the daily, we are starting to see a good crossover, okay? If it continues up, we are seeing the colors change in the MACD from dark red to light red, and we could be switching over into a buy wave, right? We could be going over into a buy wave, a green wave. We have to wait and see. Now let's look at the stochastic. Stochastic RSI, we are seeing a crossover happen. One thing that concerns me is that both of these indicators are not facing the same direction, right? One is facing up, the other one is still kind of facing down. So we are still looking to see both of these just go towards the sky before I'm really sold on it. Before I'm really sold on it, okay? Now, let's take a deeper look. We're going to go to 4-hour candles here, right? 4-hour candles. I mean, look, I drew these support and resistance lines on the weekly candles, right? Which is usually easier. You can go from the big picture down to the smaller picture. Look where these support and resistance lines are. I mean, my goodness, this is just perfect, right? We bounced exactly off of my support and resistance line here. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see on your screen. Look at this right here. I don't even think you guys can see it on your screen. Oh, there we go. All right. You can see that support and resistance line right there. We bounced off of that perfectly. I mean, my goodness, isn't that crazy? Came right off of it. And then we see multiple candles here, right? We see these candles back here from April 22nd to the 24th. We battled this other support and resistance line. And then we see these candles here battling this support and resistance line. And we look to be having a breakout. One thing I am going to say that I can spot right away looking at this chart. Let's go back to our last peak, right? Which was up to 48,000, almost 50,000. That was the very end of March and beginning of April area, right? Since then, look at this yellow moving average, right? That yellow moving average is the 100-day moving average, or the orange, sorry, not yellow. The orange moving average here, right? The yellow is the middle of the Bollinger Band, so let's disregard that. It's the orange moving average, 100-day moving average. Once we broke below that, we had a retest of the red moving average, which was the 200-day moving average. We got rejected here. We got rejected right here. And that was on 10th of April. We came down, we've tested these supports and resistances, and then we had an attempted breakout, okay? The attempted breakout happened on the 20th of April to the 21st of April. We slammed into the 100-day moving average. We shot up to the 200-day moving average, yet we still could not break out of that, right? We got rejected hard. We came all the way back down. We hit the Bollinger Band. We tried to hold support and resistance here. We tried to hold support. We broke down. We came back up and we hit the 100-day moving average again. What happened? We got rejected and we made a lower low. We made a lower low. And then now where are we? We are retesting that 100-day moving average. We have to see us break through this and close above the 100-day moving average. There has to be good volume, and we have to have consistent closes above these price actions, right? So 40,000 is a huge mental level. People don't really realize that with all of this stuff, it's about people's mentality. It's about the other traders. It's about a mental, big round numbers. People love those, right? 50,000, that was a huge goal. 60,000, 100,000. It's like price never stops at that. It's going to be like 100,002 or something stupid. You know, it's never the same thing. It's like 102,000, 120,000. It's 123,000. It's never like flat like that. It's just never is, right? There's always a weird thing in there. Even like our last pump, right? We didn't go to 50,000. We went to 48,657 or whatever the heck it was. Like that's just how it is, right? You're battling people's mentalities and their minds. That's how the market is made. Now, let's go over some of these other points here, right? So when we were making these lows and everything, and we're having all of this price action starting at the 11th of April. Oh, I need some more coffee. So from the 11th of April, we had a low, then we had a lower low, then we had a lower low, and then we finally had our lowest low that we've had so far, right? On the flip side of that, we had a high, we had a lower high, we had a lower high, and we had a lower high so far. So really, if we were drawing lines, we would see that we are getting a downward trending price action, right? It's still going down. We're making lower highs, but we're also making lower lows. So that means we're moving diagonally down like this, right? It's not being wedged, right? We're not creating a wedge like this. We are not having higher lows plus lower highs, meaning price action is being compressed. We are seeing a consistent sloping down price action. So this is where the volume and everything has to kick in. Also, if you look at the Bollinger Band, I'll zoom in very, very closely here for you guys so you can see it. Look at the tips of the Bollinger Bands here, okay? This lip is starting to peel open. That is a good sign. This lip will start to open up too. When price action blows, both of the lips will open, right? They will open up like that because the berth will get wider. When price action starts narrowing, the berth gets closer together, right? You can see it here, right? These bubbles open up, they get closer here. Price action's compressing on itself, but then if we were to zoom in on like something like this, right, where we did have the price breakout, look what happens with the Bollinger Band lips. You see it compressing here, then when price breaks out, whether it's up or down, you see the lip open up. You see the lip on the bottom open up. And what happened? we had more volatility, right? So when it's closer together, and you can see the price action moving sideways here, you see the lips squeezing down to each other, right? They start getting closer, and then volatility makes it open up. So let's zoom back out and let's take a look at these other indicators. MACD for the 4-hour time frame is all dark green. We had the crossover happen April 27th at 1300. I am on Mountain Time, so about 1 o'clock Mountain Time. We had the crossover happen, which is great news. That was yesterday, right? We want to see this volume build. So far, this volume is less than the other volume that we've had. So we need to start seeing some candles with convincing volume pickup to make sure that this move is actually going to happen. Let's look at the stochastic RSI. We had a crossover right about the same time, 1300, 27th of April, right? So that 1 o'clock. Same thing when we had the MACD crossover, we crossed back over on the stochastic RSI. Both of these are pointing up to the sky. That is a great sign. If we look at, let's go to 2-hour time frames here. 2 hours, we're seeing the stochastic start to peel up. Awesome sign. If we look at the MACD though, our volume is still not dwarfing this other volume. So the good news is on these bars, we are seeing some ascending volume here. If this volume decreases, it's literally decreasing as I'm recording it, you can see it. If we see this turn red or start to diminish and it turns, starts being lower and we start seeing this downward sloping like hill, that means we're going into another sell wave, which means we probably aren't going to hold that 40,000 level. I mean, look at this 2-hour candle. This thing does not look very good, but this one also scared the living crap out of me because we had this crazy sell-off after this pump, right? All these wicks is usually a good sign. That means it's being bought up, right? It's being bought up. That's why the wick is down and the candles are closing upwards. If we have more, if this other red candle comes down and let's say we see it start closing below 39,000, I am not going to be very bullish at all on any of the price action whatsoever. So that's what we have to watch for. We have to watch today and tomorrow very closely. Probably today we'll see some action. If we keep doing this little kind of like bouncing up and down and then grinding its way up, that works. But if we start seeing these candles close negative below the rest of these candles, especially where these wicks are, right? Because these wicks and these small candle bodies means there's indecision in people's market, like in their minds, right? If there's indecision in the market, they don't know which way it's going to go. So the price is being compressed because people aren't sure if they're buying or they're selling. They don't know if they're taking longs out or if they're shorting. They're trying to figure out which direction the market's going to go. So if we start closing below these candle body closes that we had over here, which is right around that 39,000 range to 39,300 range, we start closing down there, we're probably going to head downwards more. And if we look again, like I was saying, we look at the rejection that we've faced off of these moving averages. We got rejected here. We got rejected here. We could be facing another rejection here. If we look what happened just the other day, we got rejected. Look at all these green candles. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 9 2-hour green candles. So that was 18 hours of positive price action, which was followed up by it turned green, right? We had a giant wick up, created a double top, and then on these small candles, right? Created a double top there, and we were sold off. We tried to push back up. We got rejected, and then it led to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 2-hour candles, 8 hours. So we went up for 18 hours. We were green. Then in literally 8 hours, we came all the way down lower to then where we started. That's how fast crypto moves. It always takes longer to go up than it does to go down. Don't forget that. It's easier for people to panic sell than it is for people to convince themselves to buy into something, right? That's just the way it is. We could possibly be getting rejected again off of these moving averages, and we have to watch out for that. So guys, in summary, we have to watch for convincing buy volume. We have to watch for the stochastic RSI and the MACD to make continuous pickups, like in a positive way, right? Bullish shifts. We need to start seeing those stochastics pointing to the sky. We need to really be watching closely smaller time frame price action, and then also keeping in mind the big picture. And even on the smaller time frame, we could just be facing massive rejection from these moving averages. If that is the case, we are going to break down probably to a lower low than we had last time, meaning we're going to break under 37,000, which then we would be looking at that 35,000 range to hold that as support. If we do not, we will be going down farther into the high 20s, and I guarantee you once we lose 30,000, we will probably, I would put money on it, and I am going to put money on it, that we will go down to 20,000 in Bitcoin, if not lower. But I'm going to say that we're probably going to have a bounce around 22,000 or so, somewhere in there. If we head down that way, we will see a massive rally, probably a dead cat bounce, right? If we continue lower from there, this could spell months and months of another bear market, like that we've been in one. We've been in one since we double topped already. We've already been in bear market. Don't say we're in a bull market. That is absolutely not true. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. If we look at any of the bigger candles and charts and anything like that, there's no evidence that we are in a bull market. We are trying to recover into a bull market. But once again, I will show you the monthly charts very closely. Monthly Bitcoin candles. I mean, it doesn't get more clear than this. That is a massive double top. And here we are trying to battle this candle closing and coming down as far as it has. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. However, the good news is we have until May 22nd to form this monthly candle. So if we can fix this and rally, and this could just turn into a giant wick here, and this turns green, right, and we head up this way, that'll be awesome. Then we probably are going to go back and retest this area up here. And then we have other levels to watch for. But anyways, levels we're watching for today, can we close above 40,000? If we can make it above 42,000 and close, that would be awesome. Awesome. Either today or tomorrow on the daily. That would be amazing. That would be a huge shift in momentum. But we have to see bullish volume picking up. If the volume is very weak, chances are we're getting rejected, right? So next levels to watch. Do we hold 37,000? Do we break below it? After that, are we holding 35,000? Do we break below it? After that, are we going to 30,000 or break below it? Okay? That we have to watch those levels, because this is a very crucial time where we could continue all the way down to 20,000 literally in one candle, guys. It could be one candle. We could see it dump like that. Some of you people haven't been in crypto long enough, but I've seen days that are 60% down across the entire market. I've seen candle bodies that are this big and the wick is this big, and you're looking at literally a 50% drop. I've seen some wild stuff in the crypto market. Be prepared. Get your cash on the side, because I'm still not convinced on anything. If it goes down, buying opportunity. Great news. Great news. I hope it goes down. I'm trying to start my new job so I can put more money in crypto. I hope we continue in a bear market for another 6 months. That would be dope. Let me start getting my salary. Let me start putting more money into it. Let me build up my portfolio again. Please. Please. I don't want to see it go up yet, because I don't have enough money in it. If I could get a whole year to put all of my salary over and over and over in it and all my bonuses and everything, sign me up, dude. I am down. If we go up from here, great news. That means when the flare launch happens, I'll probably make some really good money off of that airdrop. Looking forward to that. You can make money in the market both ways. You just have to be smart about it. Thank you guys. I love you all. I hope you guys all stay safe. I hope this video helped you. I hope your crypto bags always stay full, and I wish you guys good fortune. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Hey guys, Nighthawk here again. So I'm just adding this to the last video that I made yesterday. I didn't get around to posting it, but I'm going to add this onto the little end as you're watching right now, I guess. And it is 4/29, April 29th. Yesterday was the 28th when I recorded that other part of the video where I was in a black dress shirt. So this is the next day. I've been watching the price. I'm just very quickly going to cover some of this. It's looking like we did get rejected, exactly like I was calling it. So I want to pull up some of this stuff very quickly for you. We'll just pull up these candles. These are 2-hour candles. I had shown you guys how we had been getting rejected from some of these moving averages, right? Here we are getting rejected. Here we are getting rejected again. And then look what happened yesterday. Pretty much in the beginning of when I recorded the video, but then it looked like we kind of were going to rally or something like that might happen. And then, nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like we are going to go down. So what concerns me is these Bollinger Bands, right? Like, look at the Bollinger Bands on the 2 hour. See how their lips are peeled open here? They're starting to open up. Typically when they're opening up, like back here, you can see they opened up, right? Right here. They opened up as we were already past the Bollinger Band, like we were already outside of the Bollinger Band, and they started opening up, and that's where we continued our momentum. So I'm kind of thinking that's going to happen here. These candle formations do not look particularly good to me. We have retraced almost our entire pump that we had. We're resting currently on top of like these other candle body closes over here from the 26th. So this is an area where we could possibly hold support, but we really have to if we want to see upwards price movement. It's looking like we will see downwards price movement though, in my opinion. So we will see. We are trying to break through up here all for the past 2 days, but it's just not happening. So we have to see how this candle plays out. The one that we're in right now. These are 4 hour candles now that I'm looking at. If we go to the daily, let's see how the daily charts look now. Same thing, just kind of working our way down, right? We've hit the bottom lips of the Bollinger Bands and we're just kind of working our way down. So we'll have to really watch this. 6 hour candles, not looking good. Bottom of the Bollinger Band starting to peel. If we go look at stochastics, let's go from 6 hours down to see if we're going to see like some immediate price action changing, right? Stochastics for the 6 hour candles, not looking so good. We'll go 4 hours, same thing, not looking so good. Look how tight the Bollinger Bands are too. They're starting to squeeze here, so we are going to see some explosive movement of some sort. And I'm going to bet that it's going to be downwards. That's where my money will be. 3 hour, we could be excuse me, I had to yawn. We could be bottoming out here on the stochastic RSI, which is good. We're kind of getting down to the demand range, right? Here, 2 hour candle, stochastic, not looking horrible, but it is facing upwards, but it's not like a convincing pointing up. However, this is the 1 hour stochastic RSI, and we can see it's pointing down, which if we look at the other past days, so this has been from April 25th here, right? We had a high, we had a lower high, then we had a lower high, then a lower high, and then a lower high. So, I mean, if we were drawing trend lines here, you know, which I don't really do off the stochastics very much, but you could very clearly see the trend, right? We can see the direction that it's going. And even if we do it from here, just barely touching the tops of these other ones, you know, like you can still see the slope, right? So things are not looking too promising for bullish momentum to continue. There's not a whole lot that I see that makes me feel very good about it. Frankly, I feel like today for the hour and 2 hour charts, we could potentially come back up and try to retest this 100-day moving average or this other support zone that we had before, which is now resistance at 39,500. I will be surprised if we get back up to $40,000 and actually break above that and close. That's what I talked about yesterday, so we need to see that happen. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys a little bit. Just a quick little update, because yesterday the market was moving up quite a bit, right? Like it looked really good yesterday. We were seeing all these green candles start flying up. And since then we have completely retraced that entire movement. So, and closed down there below it. So we have to keep an eye on this price action. Something is going to happen very soon in the next couple of days. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you can kind of, personally, I'm going to be cashing out of some of my positions. Wherever this next pump takes us, I'm hoping that this next pump will take us a good ways up, you know, and I'm going to take out whatever I can and go cash and try to buy lower. That's just where I'm going. So anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time. Thanks again for stopping by the channel. I appreciate your support. In a second, you're going to see some pop-ups that are going to have all of my social media links and everything that you want to know or hear or see from Nighthawk. So click on them. I hope your crypto bags stay full, and I wish you all good fortune in life. See you on the next one.